Hey, I'm putting on my makeup right now, but I've been out of the shower for a good minute and I wanted to show this. Oh, that's not going to show a good view of it. So, I mean, I had a really, really hot shower, but this kind of lingered this time, and normally it doesn't linger very long. So I wanted to be sure to get on video really quick and show you this while I'm doing my makeup. My dad has chemo every other Wednesday. He has colon cancer, and I'm getting ready to head there, but wanted to get ready and talk to you while I was getting ready so that I could just update you on a couple of things. Yeah, so he had these scans done today. This is his 5th treatment today. He had scans done to see if the chemo is working, and it has come back with really good news that it does look like the chemo is working. His lymph nodes were really inflamed in a really bad place, and it shows that they are healing and that treatment is working. So that's so exciting, and I'm just headed to be with him for a little bit and have lunch, because that's what we do every other Wednesday. Had a little bit of a head cold going on this morning, so I needed to take some time and get some work done before I go up there. So anyway, I was just in the shower, and I really believe in the mind-body connection, and I believe that there's trauma that can get stuck in our bodies. Now, I'm not a medical professional or a psychologist, but I have studied a lot of different things just for my career and for my own healing, really. I've taken interest in a lot of things with psychology and the way our psychological self affects our emotional self, affects our physiological self. And so I do think that it could be medication, it could be cortisol levels. In 2011, I underwent a lot of anxiety and depression, and sorry, I got distracted. I underwent a lot of anxiety and depression just kind of out of nowhere, and I think that it changed my chemical makeup. I don't know what it did, but it definitely affected me to where it was traumatizing. I had a panic attack. I'd never had a panic attack before. I didn't even know what that was. And then all of a sudden, life was different. I was confined inside of my head, inside of my house for basically a year. Started getting major depression. Felt like there was no one to help me, no doctors that really understood what was going on. So anyway, I overcame that and was able to get through it. But for 4 years, I thought I had overcome, and then I realized by talking to a PhD psychologist that it's not really that I had overcome. I just had learned how to cope very well. And wondering if maybe this is dry, so I'm going to put a little bit of oil. The weather's super duper cold today, so I'm just going to try to... I just thought it was interesting that this lingered this time, because, I mean, I did have a super hot shower, but I also feel like I had a little bit of a revelation while I was in the shower. I was kind of talking to my body. It was a couple months ago, I was talking to a coach, and she and I were just like connecting. Look at that though, it's crazy. And this is why when people see something like this, they're like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Because look at the difference between these two worlds going on here. I feel fine. I don't feel hot or flushed or anything right now. I don't feel stressed. Again, I just got out of the shower, so I was able to onset this reaction by the hot water, and maybe some adrenaline, because I had this revelation that, a couple of months ago, I was talking to this coach who I connected with, and we were talking about just the mind-body connection, and she had said to me, I was telling her about how my body does this, and she said to me, are you listening to your body? And I was like, huh. And she said, because you listen to your body's speaking to you. And I noticed that I'm a person who's had some issues with boundaries as far as just letting people take my time and my energy. Major empath. Also can wing into some people-pleasing stuff that's not healthy. But I've worked through that. And one of the things she was telling me is that you have worked through a lot of like the negatives of being a highly sensitive person, and you've healed from a lot of things, and you've learned to set boundaries, and you probably have like better boundaries than most people do. But you might need a higher level of set of boundaries, or it might be tricking you. Some of those old addictions and coping skills can trick you. They can come through the back door, and they disguise themselves, and therefore you are using a coping mechanism for safety and security. You don't even know it. So anyway, all of that to say, it was kind of a side note about boundaries where you're like, what? I thought I had gotten through all of this stuff. But my main point of what I'm saying is that she told me to listen to my body. And so I noticed that sometimes when I'm stuck in a conversation, I need to go home. I feel stuck in a conversation. I don't want to be rude and tell somebody, I gotta go, and cut them off. Even though people will do that to me, and I don't ever think anything about it. I actually respect and kind of envy their boundaries a little bit. And so I noticed after she said, listen to your body, I noticed that my body does get kind of, I can feel my nervous system like telling me, go, get out of here already. And it's like almost a feeling of threat, like where they're taking from me. But I've learned to silence it, to please and appease. My eyebrows, 2 different sizes. To please and appease the people around me. And so when she said, your body is speaking to you, listen to your body, I became aware of what is my body saying and what's it trying to tell me. So, and of course it comes down to boundary stuff. So I've put in some new practices to help set better boundaries and to listen to my body when it's speaking to me about, we've been here too long, or I don't want to partake in this conversation. This is how it's making me feel right now. I don't want to be around these people. This is how it's making me feel right now, which I've, again, have learned to silence and tell that my body, basically, you don't know what you're talking about. And so I think, this is what my thoughts are. I think my body's been grieving for a long time, even if the medication I've been taking is not right for me. On top of that, I think my body's been grieving for a long time, and I've never given it a safe place to just heal and be free to say what it wants to say, because I've learned to silence it. So as much as I've been working on healing my mind over the past few years, I think I forgot about my body. So anyway, I got out of the shower. Actually, while I was in the shower, I just was having this major revelation that I am so sorry, body. And it's like I said in my first video when I got the splotches on my neck at getting my root canal, and in the inside of my head, I told my body I was really sorry for what I've done to it and not listening to it, and that I'm going to do everything I can to heal you. So I was in the shower and I was thinking about that, and I just started to apologize to my body again and just tell it, like, you are safe here. You are free to be here. You are free to talk. Your voice will be heard. Like, what do you want to say? And I just felt like this relief of communicating with my body. So I got out of the shower, and I have this spot in my closet is like my healing space. Like, it's just a quiet, tidy place where I go when I feel like I'm having some major revelations or breakthrough. So I go in there out of the shower. So just my body is free. It's out and about, aka naked in the closet. And I just shut the door and just started weeping and sobbing. It just hit me when I got in there. And I told my body, I said, you are safe to heal here. You're safe to heal here. And the feeling of telling myself you're safe to heal here, any childhood traumas, any things that happened to you that felt like a violation when you were younger and that you felt were your fault. And I didn't have like a lot of sexual trauma, but I had a little stuff that older people shouldn't have been doing, and it's all relative. I've never really looked back to that and been like, oh my gosh, that's trauma that has shaped my life, but I'll get into that maybe another time. So anyway, I just sat there in the closet with myself and told myself, you are free to heal here. Sorry, gotta get something behind the camera. I want to knock it off. You're free to heal here, and I'm here to listen to you. And yeah, just sat there with myself for a minute, and you could feel like these tingles all over my chest, my neck, and I don't know if you're into that kind of thing. Might not be the channel for you if you're not, but if you're open and just can listen to stuff that maybe you do or don't believe in, and you just have that open-minded curiosity, which is how I try to live my life, that these are my true thoughts, that I believe spending time with our body, spending time with our minds is what can help bring us healing. So when I told my body, you are safe to heal here. You're safe to heal with me. You have a voice here. What do you want to say? And I bawled. It's like the grief in my body came out through my mouth. And it had an outlet for the first time. Because think about how we tense and we suppress things. That's what I've done for many, many years. Like, don't say how you feel. Shut everything up in your body language. So, just another layer of the healing journey, I think. So, whether it really does wind up relieving me from a red chest situation, which I do think I'll find what this is. I'll release whatever this is. Or at least tame it. But taking your body back through trauma, just like when you take your mind back through, when you try to heal your mind, a lot of times you'll go back before you can go forward to go heal those traumas that are there, the feelings, the emotions, all the things that happened during that time of whatever it was that happened. I think we need to do the same with our bodies. So that's what I've done today. And this is a result of it. Having a really hot shower. It's really warm to the touch too. And I'm just going with it. I've given that space for my body to know you're safe to heal here. And it just made me think about whether you need to do that with your body or when we do that with people or when someone's done that with us. Like, hey, you're safe here. You're safe to heal here. Those have been the ground where I've kind of picked myself back up from, or picked up the shattered pieces and put them back together and walked out a different person. So I believe when we get alone with ourselves and we let our minds have a place to vent and talk and heal, and we just sit there with the sensations of our body and what we may feel is anxiety. Could be anxiety, or it could be our body telling us something and telling you to sit with this so that we can break through whatever is holding this up and then get on the other side of it. So that's what I wanted to update you with today. And I finally was excited to have a red chest to be able to talk to you while I'm actually doing what it is I said I do, which this still is not the bad one. This is like blanketed across, and I know it's from the shower. But at least you know now this does happen, and maybe you can relate to this. It's not hives. Sometimes it's kind of itchy, it itches like it is a reaction to something, but it's not hives. See that? It's not hives. It's just really red. And it's kind of an even pigment today for the most part. But anyway, that's my update for you, and I will talk to you again soon. See ya.